All right, 25th overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft. The second year under GM Joe Schoen, the New York Giants are selecting Deonte
Deonte
Banks,
Banks.
cornerback out of
Interesting.
Minnesota. So Deonte Banks obviously is basically the best athlete. He had a 9.99 RAS score. In the combine, ran. I think he had the fastest 40 time for the corners outside of DJ Turner. Had a 42-inch vertical jump. So he is scheme independent. You can move him in man and zone, and he has that speed you want to play that press man. Now, the reason why I like Joey Porter Jr. a little more than Deonte Banks is that Banks he will lose reps in man coverage, and even though he has the speed, there is times where he gets beat vertically, or if he gets beat off the line of scrimmage, I think there's times where he's not able to recover, and obviously those are things you can grow on, and that's what the New York Giants are banking, no pun intended, are banking on. But the Giants go ahead and get themselves a corner with all the wide receivers off the board in Deonte Banks.
Yeah, and Deonte Banks, 6 foot, 197 pounds, 31 and 3/8-inch arms. Now, I will say, what was a big theme of last year's draft class with Joe Schoen? Age. Age was a big theme. He is 23 right now, turning 24 next March. So it's not old, but it's also not young like we saw last year where guys are 21, 20, 21 turning 22 during the season. I do think he is one of the best kind of technical players that, in this class in terms of corners. He did test very well. Change of direction and the speed is there. I think that's kind of like the trump card of his game. Banks just kind of feels like he's not as flashy as Porter because Porter has those long 34-inch arms. Banks, he does kind of check that, that benchmark of having arms that are longer than 30 inches. But overall, he's not a flashy player, but I think that's kind of on purpose. I think Banks is going to be.
He can become one, though.
Yeah,
he's got the athleticism to become that. But again, I think there's times where he struggles at the release and is able, to lose the rep and not be able to recover despite having the speeds and the ability to jump and leap to recover.
But do you know what I feel really good about this? And Grump, I'll let you go after this. I feel good that Jerome Henderson is our secondaries coach here. And that is the main difference of taking a cornerback in the first round, what we've done in previous regimes, and that's the difference of doing it now. We got a guy that has tested well. We have a guy that his natural ability as a football player and as an athlete, it's already there. That's checked off. You can't teach that, but what you can teach is the technique and actually being a good football player.
Yeah, and like you said, the natural ability is right there. The 4.35 speed is insane. He's got the quickness, too, on top of it. I have a special note on here that, he does make mistakes, but he does have the quickness to make up for it, at least at the college level. Now, remember, he played at Maryland, which is a crappier team than Penn State, although they were a good team this year. He still plays against Big Ten talent all the time, too. So it's not like we're talking about a guy who's making mistakes and recovering against the Pac-12 teams or a non-Power 5 school. On top of that, the other thing you can't teach with him, and it's a trait he shares with Joey Porter, is aggressiveness. He's incredibly physical as a corner. And I don't just mean like press man or just sticky in coverage. I mean, he likes to hit people. It's part of him. He's a football player. You know what I mean?
Good against the run?
I don't have any special notes.
I don't think he's a great run defender. I mean, that's one of the notes I have on him. So he has the ability to be a really good man corner. Right now, he is a better zone corner facing the quarterback, being able to try and bait into some of those plays. And again, part of that is the release. Trying to get into that. Like once he's in phase, he's great.
Right.
But it's that release where he can struggle. And only gave up 43% completion percentage against. But unlike some of the other first-round corners, he gave up 4 touchdowns this past season, which isn't always the best stat to look at. But in college, it is. And that gives you where, I remember Ronnie Bell from Michigan beating him on a crosser. And there's other times where he got beat vertically, but he didn't have to pay because of a bad throw by the quarterback. So,
Yep.
All right, Deonte Banks is a New York Giant. We're going to get a whole podcast out, film breakdown out. We appreciate you guys. Like and subscribe to the channel. If you are a New York Giants fan watching this for the first time, no one covers the New York Giants more in depth than we do. We're going to hit this from every single angle, get the rest of the draft for you. We appreciate you guys. Welcome to the New York Giants, Deonte Banks. We're banking on you. Let's go Big Blue.